In business, managing time effectively can be all the difference between having success and not having success. And in this video, we're going to look at 10 time expressions that you can learn very quickly, and they will help you in your business English. They will help you to communicate professionally. They'll help you to talk about time in real business situations, and they'll help you to learn and to understand key strategies when it comes to business and time. And keep to the end, because just at the end there'll be a very short little quiz, a little test, just to test that you've learned the expressions. And let's come on to the first one, and the first one is overtime. And let's look at an example. Our team had to work overtime to meet the project deadlines. Now, overtime is all about working extra hours beyond the regular working hours. So, for example, a company is behind time on some kind of project, or they have to prepare something for the client, and the people have to, or the employees have to come in and they have to work extra time, this overtime, in order to meet the deadlines. This is overtime. Now, being able to talk about overtime, it can be really important to you if you're dealing with human resources, or you're answering questions in a test or an exam or in your class about human resources. And using overtime can also be useful when it comes to talking about things like project management or crisis management. So let's come on to another example, which is lead time. The lead time for a new project launch is about 3 months. Now, lead time is the time between starting a process and finishing the process. And this can be really important when it comes in a company, when it comes to talk about, for example, manufacturing. So when a company gets an order, that starts the process. And then from the time that process starts to the time that the order is given out to the factory and the product is manufactured, and then the product is delivered to the customer, this is the lead time. And an example that I have here is to do with building a house or building a part to your house. And if you're planning to build the house, one of the things that you'll have to think about is lead time. So, for example, if you have windows in your house, these windows have particular measurements, and the windows have to be manufactured according to the specifications that you give. And the company will need a specific lead time in order to deliver and install the right windows in your house. And you have to plan this when you're making your plans to build your house. And the third example is time to market. And time to market is a useful expression when it comes to talking about anything to do with marketing or to do with manufacturing. And the time to market is the time that you have that takes the product from the idea you have about the product to the product being launched onto the market. We need to reduce our time to market to stay ahead of the competition. An example that we can look at here is tech companies. And there's a lot of competition in the tech market. And in order to be really successful in tech markets, usually it's really important to, or very often it's important to be first to the market. And therefore the time to market, the time that you have from the idea for a new tech product to the time that it's on the market, is a very important consideration. And my fourth example is just in time. And just in time is an expression that we use, or we can use, when you talk about manufacturing processes. They're used just in time manufacturing to reduce the inventory costs. So this is a system where goods are produced or they're received only when they're needed. So the goods arrive at the factory and they're immediately used in the manufacturing process. And this cuts down on the costs that you have for storing the goods or warehouse costs. An example here could be a car manufacturer and they receive the parts just before they assemble the vehicles. And here's another example. Okay, and example number 5 is crunch time. Now, crunch time is all about meeting those deadlines, and the deadline is coming up and you have to get things ready, and it's the decisive time in order to get something finished. This again will be very typical in project management, or maybe in crisis management, or getting things ready for a client order. So things in marketing or in sales, for example. It's crunch time before the pitch presentation, and we're all working all weekend. So people are frantically working. It's a critical period when the work has to be finished and we're under a lot of pressure. For example, a marketing team might work overnight in order to get an ad campaign ready for a deadline. And number 6 is turnaround time. And turnaround time is a phrase you can use when you're talking about customer support, customer relationship management. The turnaround time for customer support emails is usually 24 hours. And the turnaround time is the time that it takes to complete a process or to fulfill a request. So the company promises a fast service, for example, for customer inquiries, for customer complaints, and these kind of things. And number 7 is downtime. And downtime is really a period when something or somebody is not working for some reason. And this could be to do with the factory closing down because something has stopped working. It could be because it's something to do in IT and the system has crashed. It could be because there's some kind of crisis. We need to schedule the maintenance during the weekend to avoid downtime. So it's a period when a business or a system is not operating. For example, the website crashes, and when the website crashes, you're not working, or if you've got an online store, for example, you're not getting any income because the website is not working and no orders are coming in. Okay, nearly there. Number 8 is time sensitive. This offer is time sensitive. Customers must claim the discount before midnight today. Time sensitive is to do with something being urgent, or it's to do with, if we think about projects or we think about dealing with the clients, it's to do with the deadline approaching. And something is time sensitive when there's a date or when this deadline is approaching. And we have to get the thing done quickly before the deadline comes. So for example, a legal team, the people working in the legal department might need to look over a contract, review the contract before the contract finishes. And it's time sensitive. And number 9 is peak time. And peak time is when there's periods of high activity. So you can have peak time during traveling hours, commuting hours into the office and out of the offices. All the roads are full, all the trains are full. You can have peak time during business. So if you sell certain products, peak time might be at Christmas. You can have peak time during TV time, for example, but this is the time when most people are watching television. The TV advertising was scheduled during peak time when most people watch TV. So it's the time when demand or activity is at its highest. You've got spikes, you've got high traffic, it's very busy. So for example, when a cafe gets more customers at lunchtime, they prefer extra food because this is a peak time. And the last one is Number 10, in record time. And in record time is to do something really quickly, to do it faster probably than you've ever done it before. The team completed the project in record time, beating all expectations. So we complete something faster than usual. For example, a company might install software in half the expected time, or you might finish the project before the deadline that you have for the project, or you get something done faster than you've ever done it before. And now we come to a short quiz or a short test in order to just test that you've learned these expressions. And all you have to do is fill in the missing expression with time. Question 1. Our supplier has a long so we need to order 6 weeks in advance. Is this overtime, lead time, or just in time? If we think about the windows again and we go back to think about building a house, then we need to get the products in time, and the answer here is lead time. Our supplier has a long lead time, so we need to order 6 weeks in advance. Number 2, the company had unexpected after a cyber attack shut down their operations. Is this turnaround time, downtime, or lead time? Well, the answer, of course, is, and hopefully you got it correct, is downtime. Downtime, if we remember quickly, is the period when you can't work because something is not working or something has gone wrong. Number 3, the team is working late because it's before the client's deadline. Is this turnaround time, crunch time, or time to market? Well, if we think about the deadline coming up and the looming deadline, the answer, of course, is crunch time. The project is urgent and we must act fast. Is this time sensitive, overtime, or lead time? Well, the answer is, and hopefully you got it correct, the key is in the word urgent. The answer is time sensitive. And coming on to question 5, the last question in this short quiz, we launched our campaign and gained a competitive advantage. Is this overtime, peak time, or in record time? And again, to do something very fast, or to do it before you really expect, or do it faster than you've ever done it before, the answer is in record time. So that was it, 10 time expressions. And now you can use these time expressions in your business lessons or your business English lectures, in tests and assessments in your writing, and you can use them in real life business situations. Comment below, comment on what was your favourite time expression, or please add time expressions if you wish to add to this list. Now, if you've liked this video, please like it. If you'd like more business English lessons, then hit the notifications button, or indeed subscribe to this channel.